Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for joining me. I'm smiling today because I have had such a piss poor week. All kinds of horrible things have happened to me this past week, but I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to do the best that I can, as always, to make sure that I bring you guys some form of content, whether it be extremely merry or some really bad shit that's going on in the world. But today I'm going to talk about the title of this video, which is I'm pretty fucking sure God doesn't exist. And if he does exist, he's an asshole. So I say that because, I was like 5 years old, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And I was living in Missouri with my parents and my brother. My dad was in the military, which is a shock. Believe me, it's a shock. So my dad was in the military, and we lived in off-base housing, and back then it was Fort Lindenwood was just forest everywhere. And where we lived was a giant forest next to us, and the person who owned all the property was this older black gentleman, and he had a farm. He had a chicken farm. So all of our housing was around his chicken farm. And one morning, my mom's cooking breakfast, and everybody's in the kitchen waiting. And I decided to go outside and just be a 5-year-old, 4 or 5-year-old. It's just what we do. We just roam around doing shit. Hopefully not, blowing stuff up. So I go down we had this outside of the kitchen. If you walk out of the kitchen door, it was like a glass screen type glass door, a regular door and a glass door for the outside door. So when you walk out and you're on a deck, and then after that deck, you go down some stairs, and you were right there, big backyard, and then there's a chicken coop, right? Big chicken coop, lots of fucking chickens. So I go down these stairs, and as I get to the bottom of the stairs, I'm just kind of looking for something just a direction to go, and then I see this chicken, which I thought was a chicken, sitting down on the ground next to the fence. And it looked like it was trying to jump and get back over into the enclosure, and I was like, oh, well, here goes. I am horrible when it comes to being a good guy. I'm the worst. Because whenever I try to help someone or something, I always get fucked in the end, right? So I go over to pick up this chicken. Turns out it was a rooster. I didn't know that. Fucking not old enough to understand. I picked this chicken up, and I'm lifting it up. Simba, Lion King, I'm going to put it back over the fence, right? So I'm lifting this chicken up, and for some reason I'm thinking that over a person's head is actually the sign for a rooster to fuck your world up. So as I got the chicken right above my head, this rooster chicken decided to lose its fucking mind. This thing started fucking me up. I was getting spurred and pecked and smacked with wings. I'm screaming. I say, fuck this, I'm out. So I throw this chicken off of me, and I take off running, right? And I'm running up toward the steps, and I get to the steps, and as soon as I get to the steps, I look up as I'm about to run up the steps, and there's that fucking chicken. This motherfucker, I threw him the opposite direction by the fence. I ran totally 180 from where I threw him, got to the steps, and this motherfucker beat me to the fucking steps. So I'm standing there now, face to face this fucking giant ass fucking chicken, and it's not happy. I got near that first step, we're wrestling again. Me and this fucking rooster are on the ground. It's John Cena and The Rock all over again. I'm thinking I'm putting a smack down, but it didn't feel like it. I'm getting fucked up by this rooster. This rooster was whooping my ass, to say the least. I'm screaming, hollering, talking about help somebody. Nobody's coming out of the house. I mean, there's a window in this kitchen back then, and you can see the whole backyard. So I'm like, I know somebody can see me out here getting my ass manhandled by this fucking chicken. Somebody come fucking help me, right? Nope. Nobody came to fucking help me. So I wrestle with this fucking chicken. I'm getting DDT'd, pile drived, everything else. I finally throw this chicken off again. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to sprint to this door. fast as my little bitty feet and Mickey Mouse shoes could take me. I'm running up the steps, get to the top of the steps, thinking I'm home free. Nope, somehow this chicken ran past me, flew back up, met me at the top of the steps. We're rolling on the deck now. I'm fucking kicking, swinging, and whatever, screaming. I've got scratches all over the place. Finally kicked this chicken off me, right? Kicked him off the steps, ran into the fucking door of the kitchen, and I'm just crying. Blood's coming down all over the place. And I'm like, did y'all see me out there getting fucked up by this chicken? But before I could say that, I walked in the door, ran in this door, shut the door behind me, leaned against the door, and all I could hear was just this hysterical piss your pants laughter. My mom has stopped cooking. She's on the floor cracking up. My brother is at the table shooting milk out of his nose. My dad is on the floor. He is just giggling his happy, no literate ass off at me. I'm like, you motherfuckers sat here and watched me get my ass whooped by a fucking rooster, and y'all didn't fucking help me? Now let's go to the part about God. Now the whole time that I'm screaming, yelling, getting my ass whooped by this damn bird, which is the reason why I have an issue with birds today, I'm sitting there going, God, please help me. I'm gonna die. And you know what did not happen? God never showed the fuck up and intervened in any goddamn way whatsoever. Didn't. Now, I don't know what kind of plan it is to have a motherfucking mature ass overgrown omelet with feathers fuck me up. And I don't know what universal good that did to have me get my ass kicked by a fucking bird. But he didn't fucking show up to help me. Him, Jesus, Abraham, none of those motherfuckers, Santa Claus, no fucking body helped me. And if God truly does exist, he either doesn't give a fuck about us, specifically me, when it came to that rooster whooping my ass, or any little girl getting raped, or any woman, being mistreated, or anybody's LGBTQ being mistreated, or people of color being mistreated, and all the horrible genocides and homicides and murders and poverty and starvation and homelessness, all these things that are happening right fucking now that God could do something about this very fucking moment and does nothing. He's either doesn't fucking exist or he's a goddamn asshole. Because for someone or something who's supposedly the creator of everything, that loves us, that's made us in him or her or its image, to not give a fuck enough to protect its own children, its own creations, they're a fucking asshole. And I wouldn't worship that motherfucker for shit. And neither should you. Because that motherfucker don't exist. If he does, he's a fucking asshole. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed my second installment of what the fuck, God type stories. But I will continue to do such because I like at least talking about certain aspects or points of my life or things that I learned as a kid and happened to me as a kid. And now I can look back on and see them as being extremely hilarious. But, however, that's why Dave doesn't fuck with birds. I leave him alone because that goddamn rooster. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. Please be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Coronavirus is still out there. Please get vaccinated. I was doing this thing where I was talking about people who had died from getting COVID, not getting COVID, but not wanting to get vaccinated. And I'll continue to do those things a little bit later on. Right now, I've got some horrible shit that I'm dealing with from last week. And once I get all that solved, resolved, fixed, or whatever, I'll get back to making more regular videos, specifically like those videos, and a little bit more atheist content as well. And I just really hope you guys, take care of yourselves. Please get vaccinated. Get your family vaccinated. I've lost family members from coronavirus because they didn't want to get vaccinated. It's not pretty. It's not a good way to die. So have a great evening. Please be safe out there. Take care of yourself and all your families. And remember, please be the best heathens that you can be. And have a great evening.